Good morning everyone and welcome to the Royal Commonwealth Pool here in Edinburgh. We are here for the first day of the Scottish Winter Short Course Meet. And you see technical officials just making their way onto the poolside, all masked up as they make their way to their positions alongside this pool. Christmas music blaring in the background, you might hear. Everyone in the festive spirit here in Edinburgh. And we're looking forward to some fast swimming over the next 3 days. So my referee's just being announced to, well, I say the crowd here, but of course no spectators allowed. It's only swimmers and coaches in the stands here at the Commonwealth Pool. And of course commentators as well. My name's Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action for this morning's session. We have 3 days of action for us to enjoy. And I'll be on and off the live stream as we make our way through the weekend. My colleagues Duncan and Tony will also be joining us on the live stream. We might have some special guests as well. Some swimmers and coaches may be joining us as we go through the programme. Well, at the moment it's just me for this session one, and there's what we have to look forward to on this Friday morning. Kicking off with the 400 metres individual medley events for men and women. 100 freestyles follow that, 50 breaststrokes, 200 backstrokes and 50 metres butterfly. So a real range of strokes, a real range of distances for us to enjoy this morning. A number of the big names taking part here in Edinburgh. It's really great to be back again at an actual swimming event. We've really been starved of swimming action over the last, well, almost 2 years now. Can you believe it? Certainly for me, I really feel like the new boy here, back on the poolside again. Last competition I think I was physically on poolside was back in January 2020, so a long time ago. But it's great to be back. Commonwealth Pool looking great as always. A short course, of course. So the 400 metres individual medley for men will be kicking us off this morning. All the swimmers in the 5 heats trying to make their way to the finals this evening. And there are the swimmers in this first heat. Ryan Broadley from Broch, Kai Connolly from City of Glasgow, Tom Nicholson from Delting and Callum Sinclair from West Lothian. So as we look at the picture, Callum Sinclair closest to us. So 400 metres individual medley kicking us off here. Keep an eye on the progress of these swimmers off to the first start. Looks like Kai Connolly may be first to that turn. As I said, the swimmers in this first session will be trying to make their way through the heats and trying to qualify for one of the finals this evening. Most of the events we have junior finals and a B final, then an A final where the top 8 swimmers will compete against each other. So good chances for the juniors here to try and get another swim in the evening session. All being well, it promises to be a big year for some of the swimmers taking part here. Of course, Commonwealth Games coming up in Birmingham next summer, and I'm sure a number of the swimmers will have their eyes on those Commonwealth Games. We have some Olympians as well, some swimmers who took part in the Tokyo Olympics, and just noticed that Stephen Clegg, medalist in the Paralympics in Tokyo, will take the start as well. So leading them through in these early stages It's Kai Connolly from City of Glasgow. 14-year-old, one of two 14-year-olds in this particular heat. Callum Sinclair being the other one with that orange cap there closest to us. And two 16-year-olds, Ryan Broadley in second position there from Broch, and Tom Nicholson from Delting as well in the centre lanes, just pulling up alongside Callum Sinclair there. Looks like the two at the top maybe just going to stretch away as they come down to the halfway point. Entry times for these swimmers just around about the 5-minute mark. 2:21.00 for Kai Connolly at the halfway point. Looks very much, as we often say, breaststroke very much the vital stroke in an individual medley. 400 and the 200, and Kai Connolly looks like he's got a very strong breaststroke here, pulling away from the others. And just keep an eye on the gap that he has over his competitors in this one. Ryan Broadley at the top there. Kai Connolly going really well there, 3:02.53. Ryan Broadley on 3:08.10, so the lead around about 6.5 seconds there as they went through halfway point in that breaststroke. Kai Connolly giving himself a good chance to dip further into under that 5-minute mark. Kai Connolly 4:59.28. He was the fastest of the entry times, the 14-year-olds, but not by much. Only by 8/100ths of a second from Tom Nicholson. So he's really stretched away from the others. The lead around about 9 seconds now as he goes into the freestyle, and he's showing no signs of slowing down here. Kai Connolly, it will be hurting, that's for sure. 400 medleys always do. He's really digging in here, giving himself a good chance to post a good time here. So 2 more lines to go. I think he might be closer to the 4:50 than he is to the 5-minute mark. That would be a great swim, a good start to the morning for Kai Connolly, City of Glasgow. Coming down to the last half length now. 4:50 mark just slipping away. It's going to be a good improvement there. And it is 4:56.62. Excellent time there. Well, great swim to start. So Kai Connolly takes that first heat, improving his entry time by almost 3 seconds. Good way to start there, Kai Connolly. Well done. Ryan Broadley in second position ahead of Tom Nicholson and Callum Sinclair. That's what we like to see though. First race and an improvement on the entry times. And Kai Connolly has started us well here, City of Glasgow. There's the lineup for the second heat, the second of 5 heats for this 400 metres individual medley. Fastest entry time in the centre lane, Finlay Davis. Ben McLaughlin next to him in lane 5. Well, they're both entry times of 4:56, just the time that Kai Connolly did in that previous heat. So if they're going to get ahead of the time set by Kai Connolly, they're going to have to be better than their entry times. So full lineup. Right at the top we see Fraser Tetlow from Geary, Jake Gibson in lane number 2 from Brock, Greg Hall from Aberdeen Performance in 3. Finlay Davis in 4, the fastest entry time, 4:56.39. And Ben McLaughlin with that yellow cap, yellow and green, side by side there in the centre. Also entry time of the 4:56. Owen Carroll has gone out very fast. He leads them through these early stages, the Perth City swimmer. James Burnett from Warren de Bass goes in 7, just closing up in the closing stages of that butterfly. And completing the lineup is Jack Mitchell. Jack Mitchell, the second Aberdeen Performance swimmer in this heat, but Owen Carroll really came off that turn really well onto the backstroke, and he's extending that lead that he has over James Burnett, still holding on to second, but pre-race favourite Finlay Davis in line 4, pulling up nicely there with that green cap. I do say the pre-race favourite, of course, there's only a couple of seconds separating the whole field here. Sometimes in a 400 IM, difficult to tell exactly how things are going to go as the swimmers go through the different strengths that they have. And as we said before, the breaststroke often vitally important, so we could see some swimmers close the deficits here, but certainly Owen Carroll looking great and looking much faster than we saw for Kai Connolly in that previous heat. 2:14.10. Kai Connolly had a strong breaststroke. Owen Carroll looking pretty smooth here. Similar styles actually for the top two. Finlay Davis, that green cap in line 4. Owen Carroll still holding on in line 6. I wonder if Finlay Davis is just making inroads to that lead there for Owen Carroll. With James Burnett in 3rd. Yellow cap of Ben McLaughlin from Geary. Might be challenging for that 3rd spot, and looking like some of the breaststrokers coming back into contention. Those 3 swimmers at the top there, Fraser Tetlow, Jake Gibson, Greg Hall. Pretty much of a muchness here. So Finlay Davis certainly within striking distance here, but still a couple of seconds lead for Owen Carroll, who's really led right from the off. And just keep an eye on the time. I think it's going to be much faster than Kai Connolly went in that previous heat. Kai Connolly at this stage was 3:45, and that's pretty much on the 3:40 mark, so a good 5-second advantage that Owen Carroll has over the first heat. And still second or so advantage over Finlay Davis. Let's wonder if Finlay Davis can just come back here. Also Ben McLaughlin coming back as well, the yellow cap. Not sure he's going to have enough to make up the deficit here as they come with 50 metres to go, these two. It's good contest here in this second heat of the morning. And a good turn there from Finlay Davis has taken him away from Owen Carroll, and Ben McLaughlin trying to come back now for second position here. I think Finlay Davis is going to take this one. He swum this really well. Owen Carroll had a big lead in the early stages. McLaughlin now trying to come back on Davis, but he has left it too late to clinch the top spot. It's going to be Finlay Davis in 4:48.61. Good time there for Finlay Davis, and a well-paced swim for him, faster than his entry time. And Ben McLaughlin finished like a train, 4:49.85 for him, under the 4:50 mark, and Owen Carroll just over the 4:50 mark there in 3rd position. Perth City swimmer certainly took it out there. He was just caught by the other 2 in the closing stages, but all 3 swimmers well inside their entry times, and that's what we like to see. But nice stuff from Finlay Davis. Swimmers make their way at the side of the pool, and there is the lineup for the next heat. Third of the 5 heats.
Into this third heat in lane 1, we have Kyle District from Gary, Sam Harrison from Perth City in 2.
Swimmers
In 3 is Scott Fleming from
in this one. Right at the top there from Geary, we have Kyle Mitchell. Sam Harrison from Perth City goes in lane number 2. Scott Fleming from East Kilbride in lane number 3. Leading them through in the early stages. 28.18 for Owen Ray from Moran-de-Baths in lane 4. Just leading the spearhead there as they come down to the third length of butterfly. Archie Dixon from City of Glasgow next to him in lane number 5, the blue cap. Inverclyde's Matthew Garrity goes in 6. Jacob Wood from Elgin in 7, and Mark Scott from Finns goes in lane number 8. So 101.76. Slightly faster than that previous heat. Owen Ray, as I said, a nice spearhead there on the field. Not many people breaking that formation. Maybe Kyle Mitchell right up there in lane number 1 going well. In fact, going really well on the backstroke. A nice high turn over there for Kyle Mitchell from Geary. The backstroke of Owen Ray. Still continuing to hold that lead. They come up to the halfway point.
Scott Fleming as he comes into the end of the backstroke. And turning 2:12.21.
2:12.21 there for Owen Ray. Again, slightly faster, about a second, half a second faster on the butterfly, maybe about a second faster on the backstroke. So good stuff here from Owen Ray. Almost far and away the fastest entry time, 4:44.70. So certainly pretty much on course for that. 2 more heats to come after this one, and the times will ramp up. So Owen Ray, 16-year-old from Warrender, trying to give himself a chance here of making it into at least one of the finals tonight. The junior final might be a good prospect for Owen Ray. Looking like he's stretching away from the front of the field here. Also going well, maybe in lane number 6, Matthew Garrity from Inverclyde coming through strongly. Scott Fleming in lane number 3, but still looking very relaxed, you have to say there. Great breaststroke there from Owen Ray. Well, it's significantly faster than the previous heat now. Giving himself a great chance of trying to make in the finals. But this is good swimming here, good freestyle swimming, stretching away. Garrity in second position there, but well behind the leader. In terms of third spot, there's a little bit of a tussle going on. 2 lanes on either side of Owen Ray, Archie Dixon and Scott Fleming. No doubt about who is going to take this one It's going to be the familiar red cap of Warren Dabas, 16-year-old Owen Ray. Just going to bring them home here. Here comes 4:35.59. Excellent swim again from Owen Ray. We've seen improvements on the entry times every heat so far. That's excellent stuff there from Owen Ray. Second position, Matthew Garrity it was in second place, 4:43.50. Another good time from him. Scott Fleming won that close contest with Archie Dixon. The gap was a couple of seconds in the end. And Sam Harrison coming in next in fifth spot. But very good swim there from Owen Ray from Warrender. Fourth of the 5 heats. And there is the lineup here. The first of the 2 seeded heats, so right in the centre lane we have Pierce Greening from University of Stirling, 18-year-old, the second fastest entry time overall. So the 8 swimmers in this one: Robert Burgess from City of Glasgow, Stefan Kravic from East Lothian in lane number 2. Good start from Stefan Kravic on the butterfly. Tom Robinson, Aberdeen Performance in 3. Trio of University of Stirling swimmers in 4, 5 and 6. Pierce Greening, Tony Joe, Tret Oliver and Donald Bissett go in lane number 6, 4, 5 and 6. Luke Hornsey from East Lothian in 7, the second East Lothian swimmer in this one. And Mark Innes from Edinburgh Uni right down at the bottom there. He goes in lane number 8. Pierce Greening finishing that butterfly 1:09. No surprise that he leads them through. One lane up. No, Tom Robinson going well. Really pushing on this backstroke. In second position there. Tony Joe Tret over, 1 line down from the leader. Maybe just edging second position ahead of Tom Robinson, but it's pretty tight at this stage. Good turn there from Tony Joe Tret Oliver. Just pushing on. And they're almost on level terms there. Tret Oliver have been using those turns to good advantage there. And these two is certainly the fastest entry times, 4:21.68 and 4:22.42, so not much in terms of the entry times. And if the breaststroke is going to be decisive in this heat, you would think if they can get close to their entry times, it's going to be quite comfortable qualification for the A final. That's where they want to be. These two just maintaining the advantage. Tom Robinson clear in at third position. Donald Bissett coming back now in fourth, trying to challenge for that third spot. So University of Stirling going well in this one. They have first, second and fourth positions in this one. Tony Joe Tret Oliver not really giving up much to the leader, Pierce Greening here. And the lead is about half a second or so. So not much in it at all. These two, like they are pretty much stroke for stroke here into the freestyle. As I said, could be quite comfortable qualification here for these two. Just kind of keeping an eye on each other there with 50 metres to go. Tom Robinson clear in third position now. It's going to be somewhere in the 4:20 range, I think, this one. Who's the touch going to go to? Tony Joe Trett Oliver or Pierce Greening? Good underwater work there from Pierce Greening on that final turn. That's just taken him ahead. And he's going to get that touch there, I think. Yeah, 4:22.31 for Pierce Greening. And 4:22.66 for Tony Joe Trett Oliver in second place. That was good swimming. Good times, actually, there. 4:21.68 was the entry time for Pierce Greening, so he's not too far away from that at all. And Tony Joe Trett Oliver was actually... in fact, just outside again by about 0.2 of a second for the Stirling swimmer, Tony Joe Trett Oliver. There is the finishing positions, the finishing times. Pierce Greening taking that one by 0.3 of a second from his teammate. Final heat of this 400 individual medley. There is the starting 8 swimmers.
Into this final heat, in lane 1 we have Matthew McMillan from Incas.
So right at the top of the picture in lane 1, Matthew McMillan from Incas. One of the 2 youngest in this final, 15 years of age, Matthew McMillan. Harper Whitehead from University of Stirling goes in lane number 2. Evan Jones from Millfield goes in lane 3. Angus Allison from University of Stirling in lane 4. Early leader, Igor Suvalov. Edinburgh Uni goes in lane number 5. Jamie Ferguson goes for Aberdeen Performance in lane 6. Nick van der Voorde from Edinburgh Uni goes in 7. And another one of the young swimmers, 14-year-old Evan Davidson from Dundee City Aquatic, completes the lineup in lane number 8. So again, a couple of juniors in this one. Those outside lanes, the 14-year-old Evan Davidson, 15-year-old Matthew McMillan. But in the centre of the pool, it's like a good tussle between the middle 4 here. Evan Jones from Millfield in 3, Angus Allison in 4 from University of Stirling. Igor Suvalov leads them through, 1:32.44. The halfway point of that 100 backstroke. It's very close between the top 4 here. Coming down to the halfway point. In fact, 3 swimmers almost going over together.
Angus Allison just edging back, strong back end of his IM normally from Angus.
Look at this, all information here.
Last year with his 2:05.43, just ahead of the previous heats. He's taken this one on as he moves into the breaststroke, looking strong.
Second half of the race now. Evan Jones still with that lead, but here comes Angus Allison. That pink cap. University of Stirling swimmer.
So whether they want to stretch out in the morning or
time they are trying to better from that previous heat, 4:22.31. I think we are around about the low 4:20, should be safe enough to claim them a place in the final, in the A final. 3 swimmers now. Well, we had 4 swimmers in contention at the end of the backstroke. Looks like we have 3 swimmers in contention for that top spot here. Evan Jones from Millfield still holding on, but here comes Angus Allison now. May well just take up the running here. They come to the end of the breaststroke. Angus Allison. Not much in it between the leading 2, and they're pretty close to the times that we saw in that previous heat from Pierce Greening and Tony Joe Trett Oliver. Suvalov, the early leader, not out of this by any means. He's trying to come back on terms of the leading 2. Evan Jones looking pretty comfortable. Wonder what Angus Allison has got left. Wonder if he's just going to settle for finishing position of second, knowing that it'll be safe enough for the final. Evan Jones, the 17-year-old from Millfield. He's going to take this one. It's going to be the fastest time I think we have seen yet, for 21.56 for the Millfield swimmer. Angus Allison should be safely in the final with that 4:22.90. And Igor Suvalov similarly should be safe enough in for that final. 4th position, just on the 4:30 mark, was Jamie Ferguson. And there are the finishing positions: Evan Jones, Angus Allison, Igor Suvalov and Jamie Ferguson. We'll see who progresses to those finals this evening. Of course, we can't give you a definitive list. We do have some heats that are to swim in the afternoon, slower heats, different age groups swim in the afternoon session, so there's always the prospect that some of those younger swimmers can come in and upset things, so no official confirmation of the finalists until those afternoon sessions have been completed. But you have to say, swimmers in those final 2 heats: Pierce Greening, Tony Joe Trett Oliver, Angus Allison, Evan Jones, Igor Suvalov should be safely into that final, I would say, but we'll have to wait for the official announcement for them. So the boys finished their 400 metres individual medley. It's the women's 400 metres individual medley now. And 3 swimmers just the end of the pool there. A little bit of a delay here for the start, not sure why that is. Maybe they haven't reached the appointed time for the start. All the times for the races are kind of published in advance of the session, so can't go earlier than that time. A number of times they do go later when there's delays for one reason or another. Can't see anything obvious, no one's telling me anything, so hopefully things will get back on track soon. Here we go. Referee's whistle sounds. The 3 swimmers up to the blocks here. So quite a young field here for the first heat. First for the 4 heats for the women in this 400 individual medley. Louise Connell from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 3, the top of your picture there. In the centre is Freya Beaton, City of Glasgow teammate of Louise Connell. Goes in there, and Sarah Courage, East Lothian, the 12-year-old from East Lothian. We saw Stefan Kravich swim in the men's 400 metres individual medley. And then we've got Zara coming through. City of Glasgow, though, lead the way. Coming down to the end of this butterfly. City of Glasgow swimmers almost information there. They were for a second. They touched pretty close to each other though, about half a second there. Freya Beaton with the best finish on that butterfly there. Louise Connell just half a second behind, and Sarah Kravich, the youngest in the field at just 12 years of age. There's not many 12-year-olds, I have to say, swimming this morning. Looking through the entry list that we've got, the start list that we've got, Sarah Kravich, I think, is the youngest swimmer in the entire session this morning. So a good experience for a young swimmer from East Lothian. She's not too far behind the two City of Glasgow swimmers. Freya Beaton coming through pretty strongly on the backstroke there. Louise Connell, her teammate, or older teammate by, well, Freya Beaton 13 years of age, Louise Connell 14. Both City of Glasgow swimmers. I'm imagining they know each other well. So Freya Beaton in pole position as they come down to the halfway point. Entry times. Well, the entry time from Freya Beaton, good 6 seconds faster than her teammate. Looking like she's going to stretch that lead on the breaststroke here. Things getting a little bit elongated as they go into the breaststroke. And Sarah Kravich now closing up on Louise Connell. That's probably where closest tussle is going to be in this heat. And Sarah Kravich really doing well. I think she might have just overtaken there Louise Connell just at that touch. So Sarah Kravich, we're hoping to push home that advantage that she has on the breaststroke and hold it on to the freestyle. The 12-year-old going really well. Freya Beaton though, away and clear. The lead really increasing all the time as they come down to the end of the breaststroke. Clock goes over for Freya Beaton at 4:06.12. Sarah Kravich 4:13.74. So a good 7-second advantage there for Freya Beaton. She looks like she's increased that. Freya Beaton as she comes off that first turn on freestyle. Louise Connell looks happy to be back on the freestyle. I wonder if she can do anything to cut the deficit that she has to Sarah Kravich. A couple of lanes across, but looking really smooth there. Freya Beaton led pretty much all the way. Freya Beaton 5:26.58 is her entry time. Just keep an eye on the clock as she comes down to the final few metres. She's going to be comfortably inside that. It's going to be a good swim here from Freya Beaton, and she touches the wall at 5:19.00. Excellent improvement there. 7 seconds or so faster than her entry time. Well, Louise Connell did pick up a little there on the freestyle, but not enough to sarch Zara Crowage. 5:29.52 for Zara, under the 5:30 mark, so she'll be pleased with that performance. Getting under that 5:30 barrier. Always nice to get under these barriers, the 5:30s, or a few of the swimmers will be looking to get under the 5-minute mark in the heats to follow, so it's always nice to get under these barriers. But great swim there though from Freya Beaton. And she takes that first heat in 5:19.00. Again, looking at the times of the second heat. Wow, the fastest only 5:17.70, so they're going to have to be right on their best, or better than that, if they're going to get ahead of that time set by Freya Beaton in that first heat. Really good improvement there in the entry times from Freya. Second heat underway. Coco Croxford from City of Glasgow goes in lane number 1, the 13-year-old, right there at the top of the screen. City of Glasgow teammate is Leah Hughes, 16-year-old in lane number 2. Kiana Coetzee from Warrender, another one of the 13-year-olds, goes in lane number 3. Susie McNair from First goes in lane number 4. Amy McLeod, City of Glasgow, in 5. And the 4th City of Glasgow swimmer is Stella McCarty. She goes in lane number 6, with Alice Cumming from Western Barnshire in lane number 7, the 3rd of the 3 13-year-olds in this heat. So it looks like one of the Glasgow swimmers are going to touch that wall first after the butterfly. 7:89, and that's Stella McCarty. Susie McNair in lane number 4 on that familiar red cap of Kiana Coetzee. Next to her in lane number 3, Coco Croxford, also going well up at the top there, City of Glasgow. Come to the halfway point in the backstroke. Still McCarty holding that lead, pretty close in the centre there. Kiana Coetzee and Susie McNair. Come up to the final turn of this backstroke. Let's see how it compares to the previous heat there. Freya Beaton had a very strong second half of the 400 medley in that first heat. 2:27.60 there from Stella McCarty. 0.3 of a second the gap between her and the second place swimmer, Susie McNair from First. Onto the breaststroke there, McCarty still holding on to that lead, but not much in it at all. So Susie McNair and Stella McCarty continuing here to lead this one. Amy McLeod from City of Glasgow coming through strongly in the middle between those two, coming right back into contention here. You wouldn't be surprised if on this showing if Amy McLeod was leading them when they come down to this stage again. Really good breaststroke here from Amy McLeod in lane number 5. Susie McNair in lane number 4.
13-year-old
Now leads as Stella McCarty just drops back slightly behind her teammate Amy McLeod. And there's Amy McLeod, hits the front and out. All to play for on the freestyle, but Amy McLeod swam a sensational breaststroke there. And she has a lead of around about a second over Susie McNair. Now McNair's been there or thereabouts in just about every stroke here. We've seen Stella McCarty hold the lead in the early stages. Amy McLeod coming through in the breaststroke. Susie McNair now looks like she's trying to make the freestyle her own. And she does hold that lead there by about 0.6 of a second there as they go into that halfway point in the freestyle. So coming up to the last turn now, it does look like it's going to be Susie McNair who's timed this one perfectly. Keep an eye on the clock for Susie. Her entry time was 5:17.70. Stella McCarty coming back now on Amy McLeod. The breaststroke was sensational for Amy McLeod. She can't quite hold on to the pace. McCarty coming back strongly indeed. And it's 5:09.29. Excellent swim there from McNair. 5:09.29 for her, under the 5:10 mark. With Stella McCarty, excellent finish. 5:10.27 for Stella, and Amy McLeod 5:11.05 in third position. 3 excellent swims there at the front of that field. All well inside the entry times. But it was Susie McNair that came out in top, the 14-year-old from first.
That's half your peak going.
Well,
Just putting the hashtag in there.
there is a lineup for the third of the 4 heats. A little bit of a delay at the start here. Officials just having a consultation there before we get underway. You see the officials at the back of the blocks there, wearing the masks. All the officials around poolside have got the masks on. I see the starter just taking the mask off to sound the starting signal. As soon as that's done, the mask goes back on again. Yeah, so very much a controlled environment around poolside. Someone's only allowed to move in one way. There's all sorts of signs along the pool. Someone's allowed to go in certain areas. As I said, no spectators here as we might have normally seen at the Commonwealth pool. Just in the stands that we'll see the teams, the coaches and the swimmers themselves. Some of them making themselves seen them cheering on their teammates. Warm-up pool just beyond that main pool. You just see the swimmers going through there, just doing their warm-ups and swim downs over at the diving pit. And there we have it. So it was a nice setting, Commonwealth pool. I was swimming here many years ago myself. And it was refurbished a few years back. And it's hosted some big competitions since then. Commonwealth Games, of course, they did the diving here back in 2014 when the events were in Glasgow. Held the Commonwealth Games itself, of course, in 1970, 1986. If you do want to join us on social media, the hashtag for the event is hashtag SS Winter Meet 21. So hashtag SS Winter Meet 21. Since I'm on my own this morning, my colleagues haven't joined me. Be nice to get some conversation going. So please send in some tweets. Hashtag SS Winter Meet 21. I'll try and give you a mention. Well, looks like there is something in the pool. Is it a swimming cap? I don't know. I think we're okay. So send us some tweets. Hashtag SS Winter Meet 21. Heat number 3 gets underway. My 8 swimmers. Fern Crichton right up at the top for Perth City in lane 1. Catherine Boddy from Geary in lane 2. Next to her Geary teammate Nuala Gow. Gaia Alcaraz from Aberdeen Performance goes in lane number 4. Just in a real battle for the lead with Ailsa McDonald from Edinburgh Uni in lane 5. Was 2 well ahead of the field at this stage. Zara Keegan from Aberdeen Performance goes in lane 6, and 2 15-year-olds in 7 and 8. Melissa Mainbearing from West Lothian in 7, and Jessica Heaps from Fauldhouse in lane number 8. We're into the seeded heats, of course. The last 2 heats of this 400 individual medley are seeded, so we're seeing a couple of the faster swimmers in terms of entry times in this one, and that's Gaia Alcaraz and Ailsa McDonald. So leading them through, Ailsa McDonald just with that little bit of an edge, the 20-year-olds next to the 19-year-olds. Gaia Alcaraz in lane number 4. Also going well right down to the bottom. Fauldhouse is Jessica Heaps, the 15-year-old, in lane number 8. She looks like she is holding on to 3rd position there. And about a second the advantage for Ailsa McDonald there. As they go over at the halfway point for the backstroke, with the halfway point of the race as they come down to the bottom end again. And again, like we saw with the men's race, you would think a comfortable qualification for these 2 leading swimmers. Both of the entry times of 4:44 for Alcaraz and 4:48 for McDonald. So well on course now. Ailsa McDonald and Gaia Alcaraz, big advantage. You would think that these times are going to be good enough to qualify for that A final. One more heat to come, of course, and a few big names in that final heat as well, but top 8 will qualify for the final, and these swimmers would expect to be there. Ailsa McDonald just going away from Gaia Alcaraz. Nuala Gow coming back strongly as well in lane number 3, so she's up to 3rd position. Jessica Heaps just getting caught by the 2 swimmers inside her. Does look like Ailsa McDonald though swimming this well. Indeed, she's had an entry time about 4 seconds shy of Gaia Alcaraz's time. But the positions are reversed here. Ailsa McDonald is going to have a big lead. It wasn't The lead was practically nothing at the halfway point. That's a very good swim there from Ailsa McDonald on that breaststroke. She has stretched that lead by something like 5 seconds or so ahead of Gaia Alcaraz. I think Ailsa McDonald's going to be certainly close to her entry time. 4:48.53. Alcaraz, don't think she's going to challenge her entry time of 4:44.39, but as we've said, still should be comfortable qualification for that final for Gaia Alcaraz. Just making sure here as they come into that final turn. Alcaraz just onto the legs a little bit more in the closing stages here, but Ailsa McDonald's going to hold on here for this one. Just outside her entry time, I think. Yeah, 4:48.87. It's only 0.3 of a second outside the entry time, so good swim there from Ailsa McDonald. Good second half, especially there. Getting ahead of Gaia Alcaraz, who came up strongly in the closing stages there. 4:52.02. Nuala Gao, again, another one with a strong second half there. 5:04.21 for Nuala Gao of Geary. And there is the finishing positions. 4:48.87 confirmed for Ailsa McDonald. Alcaraz second, Nuala Gao in third spot. Sarah Keegan, in fact, getting up for the fourth place in 5:09. It's given her a good chance to try and make that A final tonight. Let's see if it's good enough for Zara Keegan with one heat to come. There's the lineup for final heat. I think we might have one swimmer missing. Looks like lane number 2 not taking the start here. So there is the lineup. Jory Horn from City of Glasgow in lane number 1. Holly McGill goes in lane number 3. Orla Adams, very much the favourite for this one, from Aberdeen Performance. She goes in lane number 4 next to Yvonne Brown, also from Aberdeen Performance. Two swimmers from Stirling Swim in 6 and 7. That's Mari Craig and Isabel Wood. And Anna Williamson from City of Glasgow. Down there in lane number 8, that blue cap of City of Glasgow. Isabel Wood going well in these early stages there, down in lane number 7. Also going well in the centre lanes. Well, Yvonne Brown just getting the touch there. 106.89 for Yvonne Brown. Not much between 4 swimmers there. Only about half a second separating the top 4 there. Orla Adams to come through as well. Of course, the Record Brooks have got the name of Hannah Miley all over them for this event. This was very much Hannah Miley's specialist event on the international stage. And Hannah, of course, just announced her retirement just last week. We did say she was entered for this event actually. When the entries came out, she put an entry in, but decided not to swim, obviously, with that retirement announcement just last week. What a great servant she has been to Scottish swimming. You remember the Scottish Nationals a couple of years ago, and we were just counting up with Hannah, going through how many titles that she had actually won at the Scottish Nationals over the years. And she has just been an incredible servant to Scottish swimming. Hannah Miley, absolutely superb. She holds the Scottish record at 4:23.14. Just hoping that she'd be swimming this one final time in this 400 medley, so we can give her a little bit of a send-off up here in the commentary box, but unfortunately not to be. Swimmers who swam with Hannah Miley, alongside Hannah Miley for many years. Orla Adams is in this one in lane number 4, and Yvonne Brown leads Orla Adams by just about a second and a half. They go down on this breaststroke. Yvonne Brown, again a swimmer, very experienced swimmer now. I remember Yvonne Brown a few years ago. It's been a very slight frame of swimmer of Yvonne Brown in previous years. She seemed to be a lot smaller than our competitors when she was coming through the age groups, but still was just such a fierce competitor, absolutely superb at a number of events, especially the breaststroke, I remember. And she is heading Orla Adams as they go into the freestyle. So two pre-race favourites, Orla Adams and Yvonne Brown. Our teammates now in the Aberdeen Performance Squad. Might be Yvonne Brown just getting the touch here as they go to the final 50. This freestyle. Not sure if Orla Adams is going to try to catch her teammate, who's got the bragging rights for the Aberdeen Performance team in this heat. Doesn't really matter. I think they're going to be comfortably qualified for the final. It's all about what they swim tonight. Yvonne Brown is going to take this one. Don't think Adams is going to get back on terms with her teammate. And there we go, 4:46 for Yvonne Brown. That's the fastest time that we have seen from all the heats, so comfortably into that final this evening. Just very close to her entry time as well, only 0.3 of a second out of her entry time. Orla Adams safe in second position, and it was Holly McGill from Heart of Midlothian, the 16-year-old, in third spot. Mary Craig in fourth in 5:02.95. There we go, Isabel Wood in fifth position, so maybe that top 5 might just make their way into the A final, but of course with the heats to come this afternoon, we'll have to wait for the results of those. And then we see the results, just or the positions, just scrolling through there. And there's the top 8 swimmers, so provisionally that will be your finalists tonight. Yvonne Brown, Orla Adams, Ailsa McDonald, Holly McGill, Gaia Alcaraz, Mary Craig, Isabel Wood and Nuala Gow. So that's your provisional finalists tonight. Of course, this afternoon's heats have to come, so that could upset that lineup. So we're not sure, but these swimmers will be delighted to be in the top 8, and they'll come back tonight for that final. Promises to be a good one. Yvonne Brown looking in good shape. Orla Adams also had a good heat swim as well. Didn't quite get back on terms of her teammate, maybe saving something for the final. Ailsa McDonald swam in that penultimate heat. A good tussle against Gaia Alcaraz as well, and Holly McGill, we didn't really mention her, but she's right in the mix for the medals. As we move on to the next event, which is the men's 100 metres freestyle. 4 lengths of the pool now for these men. First heat sees Evan Davidson, Dundee City Aquatic, Murray Pritchard from Perth City, Lucas Brown from Elgin, Tom Robertson from Aberdeen Dolphins, Finn Bremner from Warren de Baths, Callum Peebles from East Lothian, Owen Drave back in the water again from Warrender, and Jake Kirkham from lane 8 from first. Lane number 4, maybe Tom Robertson just leading them. In fact, Lucas Brown it is in lane number 3, just getting the touch. Only swimmers, well, fastest entry 52.65 for Tom Robertson in lane number 4, going really well. Right at the top there, Evan Davidson, and right down at the bottom, Jake Kirkham. Well, we could have 2 outside lane flyers here, maybe just upsetting the swimmers in the centre lane. Certainly, it looks like Evan Davidson will take it. 52.31. Murray Pritchard from lane 2 in second, and right down there in lane 8, Jake Kirkham. So it was all about the outside lanes. Wow. 52.31 for Davidson. That is an excellent time. Pritchard also under the 53-second mark. He will be delighted with that one. Well, just shows you. It could come from absolutely anywhere in these heats. We have Stephen Clegg here in lane number 7, Paralympic medalist from Tokyo earlier this year. He's a visually impaired swimmer. Great to see Stephen competing here. Keep an eye on him. He's the British record holder in his para swimming class at 53.54. So we'll keep an eye on the clock for Stephen Clegg. Line up for this one, Michael Flynn in 1, City of Glasgow, Ian Rose from Warrender in 2, Peter Allen, University of Stirling in 3, Sean Sy from Edinburgh next to his teammate, Edinburgh Uni teammate Ben Carr in 4 and 5, Stefan Kravich back in the water again in lane 6, East Lothian, the youngster, Stephen Clegg, the British para-swimming record holder in the S12 class in 7, and Finlay Club from Aberdeen Dolphins in lane number 8. Stephen Kravich leading them through. Next to him, Ben Carr in 2nd, Stephen Clegg in 3rd, going well in lane number 7. But Stephen Kravich, the youngster, 15 years of age, showing the older swimmers the way home here. And it looks like those 3 might well take this one. So Stephen Kravich is going to take this one ahead of Ben Carr, and we'll keep an eye on the time for Stephen Clegg, and that could be inside the British record for Stephen Clegg. Good swim there. 51.46 for Stephen Clegg, and that, subject to confirmation, will be a British record for Stephen. Wow, excellent swim there from Stephen Clegg. It's another short course record to his name. What an excellent year that Stephen Clegg has had, winning his first Paralympic medals in Tokyo. He's really come on to the world stage over the last few years and competing with the big boys now. Stephen Clegg just pipped for the gold medal in the 100 butterfly. And he'll be hoping to more international honours as he moves on. I'm sure we'll see him again at these championships. He started well. British record for Stephen Clegg. Third heat is behind the blocks. James Allison. Oh, I said they were behind the blocks. They were on the blocks, they're now behind again.
So we have a little break in proceedings. I'll also tell you that it was a new Scottish age group record for Stefan Kravis. 15-year-old age group record, Stefan Kravis in that.
No, just hearing from my colleague there, Duncan. It's a new age group record for Stefan Kravich for the 15 years age group. I said he was showing the older swimmers the way home, and that, no surprise, it's an age group record for Stefan. His second swim of the morning as well, after that 400 metres individual medley. Obviously a warm-up for him, but great. Looked like a great swim in that 100 freestyle for Stefan. So a little bit of a delay in proceedings, and just going to tie up what I was saying over about Stephen Clegg. Silver medal in the butterfly, 2 bronze medals, 100 back, and in the event we've just seen him swim in the 100 freestyle. S12 class, certainly in recent years, generally been dominated by the Eastern Europeans, the Belarusians, the Ukrainians. All have very, very strong visually impaired squads. Stephen Clegg has really come through as one of the world's top swimmers in that classification, with many years to go, I'm sure, in his career. The heat is now going to be underway. Heat number 3. James Allison, Aberdeen Performance up there in 1. Martin McInnes, City of Glasgow, in 2. Jake Bonsall from City of Cambridge in 3. Regan Lloyd in 4 from University of Stirling. Thomas Carswell in 5 from Edinburgh Uni. We have Eddie Watson in 6, Aberdeen Performance. And Greg Fairbairn in 7 from University of Stirling. Viraj Prabhu from Edinburgh University in lane number 8. We're into the seeded heats now, so swimmers, you would expect them to challenge that 50-second mark. Regan Lloyd and Thomas Carswell under the mark in terms of entry times, 49.55, 49.91. Looks like it might be Carswell just leading them through. Also going well, Jake Bonsall, City of Cambridge in 3. It could be Thomas Carswell. Is he going to dip under the 50-second mark? It's going to be very close. Just under, yeah, 49.91. Good swim there from Thomas Carswell. Jake Bonsall was in second, 50.43. And Regan Lloyd, 50.86. So top 3 swimmers under the 51-second mark, but only one under 50. Thomas Carswell equaling his entry time, 49.91. Next heat about to go, we see Alex Sargent and Rory Dixon in 1 and 2, both University of Stirling. Fraser Agnew in 3. David Cumberledge from Edinburgh Uni in lane number 4. Henry Baker from University of Stirling in 5. Miles Lapsley, Edinburgh University in 6. Gregor Swinney from City of Glasgow, blue cap in lane 7. Swali Talib, the 4th University of Stirling swimmer in this one, in lane number 8. Well, David Cumberledge, very much the favourite for this one. I've seen him swim very fast in the 50 freestyle in the past. Very swift 50 freestyle, a great 100 freestyler as well. Commonwealth Games medalist, of course, in the Gold Coast for Team England. He's been based in Edinburgh for a number of years now. David Cumberledge gone out fast in the 50s, just being pressed now by Henry Baker from University of Stirling in lane number 5, but Cumberledge going to be very much the favourite here. Let's see what kind of time he's going to get. 48.25, that is an excellent swim from David Cumberledge.
Second, looks like Henry Baker, 49.53.
He is very much a freestyle man, David Cumberledge. Henry Baker in second, Miles Lapsley in third position. Heat a little bit faster than the previous one, but Cumberledge will be trying to add to his Commonwealth Games medal tally, I'm sure, in Birmingham when they come to the summer. Another man who might be trying to add to his Commonwealth Games tally is Stephen Milne in lane number 4, the experienced man, now swimming for University of Stirling. Line up for this final heat: Cameron Travis from Aberdeen Performance, Charlie Poole from University of Stirling, Rory McKinnon from City of Glasgow, Stephen Milne and Chris Muir in the centre, both University of Stirling, Mark Ford from City of Glasgow, Tom Bealey from Plymouth Leander, and Benji Gillingham from University of Stirling in lane number 8. Well, Stephen Milne out to a good lead. Stephen Milne, talk about the Commonwealth Games, kind of made his name qualifying for the Commonwealth Games back in 2014, went on to greater things. Olympic medalist, of course, in Rio. in the relay team, and he's going to take this one, looking on good shape there. Stephen Milne take this one comfortably, 48.64, just slightly slower than Cumberledge, but certainly the second fastest time that we have seen. Well, Tom Bealey didn't take the start, but there is the finishing order. Stephen Milne, Chris Muir, Rory McKinnon just ahead of Charlie Poole for third position. And that is the 5 heats for the men's 100 freestyle. So Cumberledge looking in good shape, Stephen Milne looking in good shape, with two guys that have medalled at the big championships before. They could be on for a good head-to-head. Good to see Stephen Milne still producing the goods. As I said, his first Commonwealth Games back in 2014. As a member of that medal-winning Scotland medal-winning team, which included a very young Duncan Scott, I remember. Now it's the women's turn for this 100 freestyle. Catriona Stewart from Western Bartonshire in 1, Anna Williamson in 2 from City of Glasgow, Amber Stevenson, South Ayrshire in lane number 3, Kerry Gillespie and Sienna Perry in 4 and 5, both Aberdeen performance, Amelia Mardell from Ulverston in 6, and Ella Stevenson from Bells Hill Sharks in lane number 7, no swimmer in 8. Looks like might be Amber Stevenson taking them through in that halfway stage, 28.21. The swimmers will be trying to challenge that 1 minute mark, the magic 1 minute. Amber Stevenson certainly giving herself a good chance here to do that one. All the swimmers, with the exception of Catriona Stewart and Ella Stevenson, under the 1 minute entry time. But this is going to be good for Amber Stevenson. Yeah, 58.44. Excellent time indeed. And the only other swimmer under was Ella Stevenson, so she will be delighted with that one. 59.89 entry time at 1 minute .02. So she's improved that by 13/100ths of a second, but she's on the right side of the 1 minute mark, and that's the important thing. So good swim from Ella Stevenson, good swim from Amber Stevenson. Stevenson's top the tree. Heat number 2 of the 5 heats. Louisa Stoddart from East Lothian, right up at the top. In lane 1, Louise Edmonds from RWS in 2, Ciara Stirker from South Ayrshire in 3, Elise Cousins from Perth City in lane number 4, Ava Simpson, Edinburgh University in 5, Isla Yule from South Aberdeenshire in 6, Natasha Simpson from Warren de Bass in 7, and Ariane Stokes from Tynemouth in lane number 8. Elise Cousins there from Perth City, that red cap maybe just leading them. Yeah, just 4/100ths of a second ahead of Ava Simpson from Edinburgh University right next to her. Louise Edmonds also going well up there in lane number 2, but it's the red cap now of Perth City. Looks like it has the advantage over the rest of the field. Trying to come back on terms, Ava Simpson from Edinburgh University. But it is going to be a clear win for Perth City's Elise Cousins, 57.66. Again, excellent time there from Elise Cousins. Louise Edmonds in second place. It's a very close contest for second. Edmonds, Simpson, and Natasha Simpson and Ava Simpson. Just separated by 9/100ths of a second. all of them in the 58-second range. As the heats gets faster now. Heat number 3 of the 5 heats. Maribel Thorpe in 1 for Edinburgh University. Rebecca Reid in 2 for Aberdeen. Yasmin Perry, Aberdeen Performance in 3. Tame Bruce, Edinburgh University in lane number 4. Madeline Robertson for Cross in 5. Katie Shanahan, City of Glasgow in 6. Meg Finnan from University of Stirling in 7. And Anna Green in 8 from Warren de Baths. Again, we are into the seeded heats here. And Tame Bruce, very much the favourite for this one. Madeline Robertson alongside her in lane number 5. It does look like Tame Bruce has got the edge though. Tame Bruce, another swimmer I'm sure will have eyes on the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham next year. Certainly in the butterfly event, you would expect Tame Bruce to be very strong indeed. This freestyle looking pretty swift as well. Tame Bruce is going to take that one. Young rising star Katie Shanahan just touched out of the finish there from Yasmin Perry. City of Glasgow's Katie Shanahan in 3rd space, 3/100ths of a second behind Yasmin Perry, but no doubt about the winner, 54.25 for Tame Bruce, and that was impressive. So that's a target for swimmers in this next heat. We see there Olivia Mason in 1 from Warren de Baths, Emily Grant from Aberdeen Performance in 2, Lucy Grieve from South Ayrshire goes in 3, 2 swimmers from the University of Stirling in 4 and 5, Emma Russell and Elena Morgan, Drew Mackenzie from City of Glasgow in 6, and 2 from Edinburgh University in 7 and 8, Kirsten Laurie and Zoe Giddon. Well, Emma Russell, fastest qualifier, 54.87. Actually, the junior record mark there. Emma Russell holds that one. 54.87 is the Scottish junior record. 18 years of age now, Emma Russell, and she hoping to go on, of course, to more international honours in the years to come. She is leading the field here, coming down to that final turn. Inside her, Lucy Grieve, 17-year-old from South Ayrshire. Lane number 5 as well, going well, is Elena Morgan. And also in lane number 6, Drew Mackenzie. But it is going to be Emma Russell. She's going to take that one. Yeah, it's a good time, 54.56 for Emma Russell. And that's inside her entry time. Well done, Emma Russell. So 54.56 for the Scottish junior record holder, Emma Russell. Lucy Grieve in 2nd and Drew Mackenzie in 3rd position there from City of Glasgow. But a good time, Emma Russell, just shy of that time from Tame Bruce in the previous heat, but not much in it at all. Here we have in the final heat the Scottish record holder Lucy Hope from the University of Stirling. Millie Milne from Warrender goes in 1, Saskia Wade in 2 from City of Glasgow, Katie Robertson in 3 from Edinburgh University, Lucy Hope in 4, University of Stirling, Katie Goodburn in 5, next to Nicole Ricci and Abby Hall, all Edinburgh University in 5, 6 and 7. And Kaylin Hall from Aberdeen Performance goes right down at the bottom of your picture in lane number 8. Two 16-year-olds at the top there, Millie Milne and Saskia Wade. Couple 17-year-olds in this one, Nicole Ricci and Kaylin Hall. Scottish record holder Lucy Hope. first Olympic Games, of course, in Tokyo earlier this year. She is just holding off the challenge from the two alongside her, Katie Robertson and Katie Goodburn, the two Katies. Really pushing on the Scottish record holder here, Lucy Hope. Lucy Hope now just showing her strength here, but going well. Katie Goodburn just trying to hold on to that lead over Katie Robertson. It is going to be Lucy Hope though. She's going to be in the 54 range. She is 54.40, faster than Emma Russell, not quite as fast as Tane Bruce. So it promises to be a cracking contest tonight between those three. And maybe some others. Katie Goodburn, a good swim from her, 55.40 faster than her entry time. And there we see the order of the finishing positions. So Lucy Hope, Emma Russell, Tane Bruce right at the top. They're 54.25 in that heat, but really 0.3 of a second separating the top three main contenders. It's going to be a cracking final tonight. So the 50 metres breaststroke for men is underway. 6 heats in this one. We have in this first heat Josh Elliott, Heart of Midlothian, the 13-year-old. Mika van Berk from Warrender in 4, and Noah Quinnell from Shetland in lane number 5. So Mika van Berk coming away. Entry time 33.45. It's going to be much faster than that. Wow, 30.24. That is a good swim from Mika. 33.11 for Josh Elliott, faster than his entry time. And also faster is Noah Quinnell from Shetland, 17-year-old, 33.27. So all three swimmers inside their entry times. And there we have the lineup for the second heat. 6 heats in this one, remember. Max Pelosi of City of Glasgow, one of 4 15-year-olds in this one. Emil Moravsky from Warrender, Tom Robertson from Aberdeen Dolphins, Agnes Bullock from Shetland, Brandon Aitchison from Bucky, Luke Hornsey from East Lothian, and Adam Scott from City of Glasgow. Good start from Emil Moravsky there from that red cap of Warrender. Taken inspiration from his teammate Mika van Berk. I think maybe Warrender are maybe going to take another heat here. That's going to be in the shape of Emil Moravsky, and he takes it under the 30-second mark. Wow, 29.60. Excellent swim there from Emil Moravsky. And he will come in clearly ahead of the rest of the field. Luke Hornsey in second and Brandon Aitchison in third position, just ahead of Max Pelosi. The swimmers exit the pool. So I think is confirmed for that one. Next heat sees Sam Harrison, Perth City in 1, Connor Mitchell and Jamie Littlefield in 2 and 3 for Warrender Baths. Marius Kringelis from Edinburgh Uni in lane 4, Thomas Christie from Aberdeen Dolphins in 5, Jason English in 6 from Edinburgh University, Kieran Breckenser from Aberdeen Dolphins 7, and Cameron Mitchell from St Thomas in lane number 8. Well, the first 2 heats have gone to Warrender. I think they're in second position possibly as they go through the turn there. Marius Kringelis maybe just with that lead for Edinburgh University in lane number 4 as they approach the finish here. Could be the Edinburgh University swimmer. He will take it. Yeah, 29.65. Just slightly slower than the previous heat by 5/100ths, but a good swim there. And it's second and third place for Warren de Bath this time. Jamie Littlefield and Connor Mitchell separated by only 3/100ths of a second, but Jamie Littlefield gets that all-important touch. But it is Kringelis who took that third heat, so this time it's a win for Edinburgh University. Fourth heat, there is the lineup. 3 from Edinburgh University in 1, 2 and 3. Charlie Trotman, Ross Young and Hugh Takamoto. Rory Dixon from University of Stirling in 4. Aaron Dolan, Ren 96 in 5. Lewis Bailey from Aberdeen Performance in 6. Greg Fairbairn in 7 from University of Stirling. Matthew Garrity back in the water again, the 17-year-old from Inverclyde. Very close centre of the pool and also going well. Ross Young in lane number 2 as well. Ross Young going to cause an upset here for Edinburgh University. Lane number 4, Rory Dixon, University of Stirling. Into the wall, it is going to be Ross Young. Yeah, he started well and he held that right to the finish. I think he maybe just edged the lead at the halfway point, but he takes it clearly by 0.37 of a second ahead of Rory Dixon and Aaron Dolan. 2 centre lane swimmers. Just beaten by the swimmer in lane number 2, Ross Young. So heat number 5, here is the lineup. Donald Bissett in 1, Dominic McCarthy in 2, Andrew Arthur in 3, all University of Stirling swimmers. Craig Benson from the City of Glasgow, those in lane number 4. William Ellington, University of Stirling in 5. Ethan Horn, Rutherglen in 6. 2 from Aberdeen Performance in 7. Conor Massey and Paralympian Conor Morrison in lane number 8. Conor Morrison swimming in Tokyo in the S14 para classification. Craig Benson, of course, former Olympian himself in London and in Rio. Is he going to try and make it to another Commonwealth Games? Benson takes it, 26.88. Really is a class act, Craig Benson. It has been throughout the years. Great swim there from Craig Benson. Takes it comfortably. 26.88, just half a second outside the Scottish record actually. William Ellington in second place and Dominic McCarthy in third spot. Paralympian Conor Morrison touching in 30.93. There is a lineup for the final heat. Luke Nevison and Warren de Bath in 1. Callum Melville from Nova Centurion in 2. Joshua Mitchell, Usain Cook and Nicholas Quinn. They go for Edinburgh University in 3, 4 and 5. Yusuf Batu, City of Glasgow in 6. Thomas Cannon from University of Stirling in 7 and Murray Pritchard from Perth City in lane number 8. Well, 2 Irish swimmers in the centre lane representing University of Edinburgh. Nicholas Quinn, an experienced man on the international stage for the Irish team. And the 2 Irish swimmers, I think, coming in together. Oh, it's very close. Usain Cook takes that one, 27.89. 8/100ths separating him and his Edinburgh University and Irish teammate Nicholas Quinn, with Yusuf Batu in third place, 28.13. So not quite as fast as Benson in the previous heat, but Cook and Quinn also in the 27-second range. And Benson, of course, 26.88. Looking like he's going to be tough to beat.
So that time from Callum Melville, that 28.45, 5, a new 15-year-old Scottish age group record. Congratulations, Callum. Give you the provisional finalist for the men's 100 freestyle.
I've just been told there that it's a new 15-year-old record for Callum Melville in that final heat, 28.45. So the 15 years age group records falling here at this winter meet. That's Stefan Kravic in the 100 freestyle, Callum Melville now in that 50 breaststroke. Again, of course, we have to wait for confirmation of the final, see what happens in the heats this afternoon. But we'll see the 50 breaststrokers trying to challenge the positions. But there's the top 8 as they stand. Craig Benson leads the way ahead of the 2 Irish swimmers and ahead of Ross Young, who won that heat from lane number 2. Women's 50 breaststroke on the way. Ailey Stewart leads them in lane number 1. Gets off to a very good start in the outside lane there. Ailey Stewart from Warrender, Amy Bell and Caledonia Crossland from Midlothian. They go in 2 and 3. Erica Watt from Heart of Midlothian in 4. Rebecca Cole from Hamilton in 5. Jessica Schultz from Perth City in 6. And Catriona Stewart from Western Bartonshire goes in lane number 7. Well, it's a good shot of Ailey Stewart there. That red cap of Warrender. She started well. Catriona Stewart, I think, is going to get the touch. In fact, no, it's lane 8 actually. It's Yasmin Ali, who was a late addition to the entry list here, and she has taken that one. Yasmin Ali, well done. 33.49. Well, that took me by surprise there. In lane number 8, Catriona Stewart pulled through for second position, 34.77. Well, the 2 leading swimmers going in at 7 and 8 there. Next heat is underway now. Katie Coventry from Tynemouth, Amelia Mardell from Ulverston, Arthur Eves from Dundee City Aquatic, Alwyn Cook from Edinburgh Uni, Anna de Grossa from Best, Katie Simpson from Edinburgh University, Freya Masson from Shetland, and Amy McLeod. We saw her swim a very good breaststroke, blue cap, City of Glasgow in the medley. She's going to follow that up in this 50 breaststroke. Looks like lane number 4 might be Alwyn Cook who's going to lead them home. Alwyn Cook does take it, 33.54, very close to her entry time. Just a tenth of a second or so outside. Anna de Grossa in second and Martha Reeves in third spot, winning a close contest with Freya Masson there. The swimmers very close to their entry times in that particular heat. Some inside, some just outside. Third heat is underway now. Lucy Stoves, Dundee City Aquatic, Nuala Gow back in the water again from Geary in 2, Bridget Lemessurier and Katie Goodburn. Not much of a rest for Katie Goodburn here. She goes in lane 4, the 2 Edinburgh Uni swimmers. Victoria Russell in 5 from University of Stirling. Anne Hutchison from Edinburgh Uni in 6. Laura Harrison, Glasgow Uni in 7. And Fern Crichton from Perth City in lane number 8. Well, Katie Goodburn, well, she's come back strongly, that 100 freestyle. Obviously a good warm-up for her. And she's in 31.65 for Katie Goodburn. Winning that one comfortably ahead of Vicky Russell. 0.8 of a second ahead of her. Bridget Lemessurier in third spot. In 33.05 ahead of Lucy Stoves, who wins that close contest there just by 0.02 of a second ahead of Anne Hutchison. 31.65 from Katie Goodburn. She's one of the favourites for this one. We're into the seeded heats there. So we have Very interesting heat, this one. Heat number 4. Emily McGee from Carnoustie, Charlotte Hardy from South Ayrshire, Louise Edmonds from RWS, Erin Robertson and Katie Robertson from Edinburgh University, Katie Shanahan back in again from City of Glasgow, Sophie Hoole in 7, and Ciara Strerica from South Ayrshire in lane number 8. All the two Robertsons in 4 and 5. Erin Robertson and Katie Robertson, they will be trying to get the better of each other in this heat. Very, very close there. Very, very similar styles as you might expect. And they come into the wall together. 3 100s. And it is Katie Robertson that takes it in 31.45 ahead of Erin. 31.48. Louise Edmonds in third there, with Katie Shanahan just outside the top 3 spot in fourth position in 32.66. Katie Robertson taking that one. She'll be happy with that one, but it was very close. She came in against Erin. Cara Hanlon will start as favourite for this one. Susan Orr goes in 1, with Sashka Wade in 2, City of Glasgow. Amy Watson in 3 from Inverclyde. Cara Hanlon, Edinburgh University. Favourite for this one goes in 4. Anna Morgan in 5 from University of Stirling. Ciara Davidson in 6 from City of Glasgow. Thanrada McGregor from Warrender in 7, and Marie Wood from Aberdeen Performance in lane number 8. It's a good start from Cara Hanlon, also a good start from Amy Watson there with that white cap, and Anna Morgan not too far behind. But here comes Hanlon now, really putting on the pressure into the closing few strokes now. Yeah, 31.09 for Cara Hanlon, and that'll be comfortably the fastest time that we have seen from any of the heats. Anna Morgan it was in second, just 5 100s ahead of Amy Watson, and Ciara Davidson in third position. So, well, could be very interesting as we come to this final. Cara Hanlon will lead the way, as you see. The two Robertsons, Katie and Erin, in second and third, and Katie Goodburn just behind them in fourth place. But remember, Katie Goodburn just seemed like almost about 10 minutes ago swam that very fast 100 freestyle. So just wonder if Katie Goodburn's got a little bit more in the tank there. In fact, Katie Robertson as well was also in that 100 freestyle race, the same race as Katie Goodburn. So busy programme for these swimmers this morning in these heats. Should be safely through to the final. Of course, we can't confirm it because of the heats this afternoon. If anyone can cause an upset in that, we have seen it happen before. It doesn't often happen that the A final order is upset, but I can't say it's never happened. So upping the distance again as we go on to the 200 metres backstroke. Men are first on. 5 heats of this men's 200 backstroke. Those 7 swimmers taking the start for this first heat of the 200 backstroke for men. 5 heats for us in this one, and in this first heat, Callum Dunn from South Ayrshire goes at the top. Goes in lane 1. Ryan Broadley goes in lane number 2. Callum Dunn with an early lead actually in that outside lane, 29.93. The only swimmer under the 30-second mark. Ryan Broadley, I think we saw him kick off the 400 medley earlier this morning. Calvin McDonald from Aberdeen Performance in 3. Magnus Bullock from Shetland, one of the two 15-year-olds alongside Calvin McDonald. There you go. He goes in lane number 4. Owen Carroll, saw him swim well in the medley. He goes in lane number 5 at red cap of Perth City. Robbie Thompson from Shetland goes in lane number 6, and Ruben Kelly from Dumfries goes in lane number 7. So I was going to say almost all points to the compass there, but probably not. Probably also just north and south there. Shetland and Dumfries couldn't get much further apart, but they are absolutely stroke for stroke here in lane number 6 and 7. So geographically well apart, but not separated by much in the pool. Callum Dunn, South Ayrshire, leads them through. Entry time of 2:17.02. He might challenge that one. Owen Carroll coming through strongly with that red cap of Perth City. Is he just going to pip it at the end? Is it going to be the long-time leader? Callum Dunn will take it. I think he might just lose it on the touch. Owen Carroll takes it to 12.82. What a good swim from the outside lane from Callum Dunn. 2:13.08 for Callum Dunn. And Calvin McDonald in third spot, 2:16. So good times there from the top 3. Faster, all faster than their entry times. So good swimming. Second heat sees Owen Williamson from East Lothian going in lane number 1. Greer van der Meulen from Stirling Swim going in lane 2. Alex Thompson from Warren de Baths in lane 3. Kieran Breckenser from Aberdeen Dolphins in 4. Jacob Wood from Elgin in lane number 5. Kyle Mitchell from Geary in lane 6. Dean Fern from South Aberdeenshire, the 13-year-old, off to a very fast start there. He goes in lane 7. And Cameron Palmer from Bellshill Sharks goes in lane number 8. Well, the youngster really going out like a bullet there in the early stages. Dean Fern, 29.03. Swimmers in the middle going out the opening stages. A little bit more of a pedestrian pace, and it looked like they are just closing on the early leader, maybe just overtaking him there. So it might be Greer van der Meulen, Alex Thompson be coming through here. Might be Alex Thompson as they come into the halfway point. Yeah, 102.25 for Alex Thompson. Warren de Baths swimmer looking comfortable there. The first half of that race. Kieran Breckenser coming through strongly in lane number 4 in the middle of those, well, in the top of those 2 yellow lane markers there. Or yellow marked lanes, I should say. So a 150 mark just about to go. Alex Thompson and Kieran Breckenser, looks like it's between those two. Kieran Breckenser coming off that turn very well alongside the red cap of Alex Thompson, the two 17-year-olds. Side by side here, who's got the strength to come through in that closing stages? I tell you, Dean Fern is doing well, holding on there down in lane number 7, but it does look like Kieran Breckenser has maybe just got enough to take this one. He does take it. It is Dean Fern in second. What a good swim from the youngster. 13 years of age, 2:11.17 for Dean Fern, but 2:10.26 for Kieran Breckenser to take that one. Nice, faster than the first heat. But a good swim from Dean Fern there. He went off really fast and was able to come back strongly in the closing stages of that one. Key number 3 sees Jake Kirkham from first. In line 1, Michael Flynn from City of Glasgow into Mohammed Warley from University of Stirling in 3. Keir Edgar from City of Glasgow in 4. Jack Munsey and Angus Allison in 5 and 6 from University of Stirling. Fraser Wilson in 7 from Aberdeen Performance and Andrew Brodie in 8 from Aberdeen Dolphins. Everyone pretty much of a muchness with the exception of Angus Allison. Didn't get a good start there, so immediately he's playing catch up. Jack Munsey got away well though. He leads them as they come down to that first 50, 28.45 for Munsey. Andrew Brodie going well down in lane number 8. Also, Mohammed Warley, I think it is, in lane number 3. So, danger all over the pool here. Someone's in the middle, just all in a row here. Coming through, but no doubt about the leader. Still Jack Munsey, 59.41. We are into the seeded heats, so no surprise to see Jack Munsey leading them through. Keir Edgar just moving into second position now as they come into this second half. Oh, they're into the second half. They're coming into the last quarter now. As it goes over 129.96. Jack Munsey, entry time of 2:01.80. Not going to be far away from that time. Keir Edgar looking like he's going to continue to be in second position here, coming down this last 25. Angus Allison did pick up here. He might get into third spot, Angus Allison, possibly. But Munsey takes it, 2 minutes, 0.24. Keir Edgar 2:03, and Angus Allison, it was in third, 2:05.78. So just outside the 2 minute mark from Jack Munsey. We're disappointed with that one, but I suspect with that time he's given himself a good chance to make that final tonight. He's certainly going to make the B final if he misses out on the A, but I can't see him missing out on the A final with that time. Another chance to dip under that 2 minute mark later. So Stuart Crawford from Glasgow University, Lucas Brown from Elgin, Jamie Ferguson from Aberdeen Performance, Zach Speakman from University of Stirling, Alexander Sargent from University of Stirling. They go in 4 and 5. He will be the favourites for this one. Conor Massey goes in 6 from Aberdeen Performance. Callum Peebles in 7 from East Lothian. And Angus Johnson in lane number 8 from City of Glasgow. Now Speakman leads them through in the early stages. He's very much the class of this field. The only one with an entry time under the 2 minute mark. That time stands at 157.59. So Speakman going out pretty quickly in these early stages, certainly faster than Jack Munsey went out in that previous heat. Not much to play for second position. Jamie Ferguson maybe just holding on to that one ahead of Conor Massey. And Zach Speakman, well, he set his stall out early here. He's a good 3 seconds ahead of the pace set by Jack Munsey in that previous heat. So Jack Munsey was right on the 2 minute mark. So we good idea what we can expect from Zach Speakman here from University of Stirling. Looks like he's stretching his lead over the rest of the field. Maybe Jamie Ferguson possibly in second position as they come down to 150, 126.33. Again, just about 3 seconds ahead of the pace set by Jack Munsey in that previous heat. So if he continues this pace, he'll be looking at somewhere like a 157-ish. Looks like he's working it down this final 25 metres. It's going to be an excellent time from Zach Speakman. It's going to be 157, yeah, 157.14. Good swim from Zach Speakman. Jamie Ferguson getting up for the second spot, 2:03.35, and a close battle for third. Conor Massey, 1/10 of a second ahead of Alex Sargent, 2:04.74 for Conor Massey. So just waiting for those results to be confirmed. Looks like it's never a good sign when there's a delay in the result. Quite often there could be a disqualification, but there might not be. Might be a technical problem. Be something to do with the timing pads or something that's happened behind the scenes with the technical equipment. We shall wait and see. It does make a difference being here on the pool. I can kind of peer over the balcony to see if I can see the referee having a discussion with anyone. See if anything might be amiss, and there's the discussion going on. I'll bring you that. I think everyone looks like they are going to be safe. Yeah, there we go. Zach Speakman takes it, 157.14. Everyone's safely in. Jamie Ferguson in second, and Conor Massey and Alex Sargent in third and fourth, respectively. So the final heat, Ewan McLeod from Shiverers. He goes in lane 1. Cameron Travis is in 2 for Aberdeen Performance. Tony Joe Tretoliver from University of Stirling in 3. Craig McNally from University of Stirling in 4. Mark Ford in 5 from City of Glasgow. Andrew Bertolli from Ellesmere College goes in 6. Robert Burgess in 7 from City of Glasgow. And Travis Davey from Dundee City Aquatic in lane number 8. In fact, we're missing a swimmer. We're missing Tony Joe Tretoliver, so no one in lane number 3. Well, Craig McNally, University of Stirling, 29 years of age now. A very experienced campaigner on the GB squads across the years, Commonwealth Games swimmer for Scotland for the first time back in Delhi in 2010. He also went to Glasgow in 14, Gold Coast in 18, so sure he will have his sights set on Birmingham next year at the Commonwealth Games. His 4th Commonwealth Games, that'd be some achievement. Can't really think of many swimmers that have made that accolade. Sure there'll be some. Hannah Miley probably Alison Shepherd, who's here in the stands today as well. We famously won the gold in Manchester in 2002, 5 times in Olympia. I'm not sure how many Commonwealth Games we did. We'll have to do our research on that one for Alison. But he will join a list which will not be very big at all if he makes that Commonwealth Games team. Craig McNally, I'm sure. He has been a real top performer over the years, a World Championship finalist in this event. This is very much his speciality, Craig McNally. Mark Ford next to him in lane number 5. These two stretching away here from the rest. Andrew Bertoli in 6. McNally coming home now, easing in 158.76. Well ahead of the rest of the field. Mark Ford in 201.36 and Andrew Bertoli in third, 203.54, ahead of Cameron Travis in 204.64. So these four well ahead of the others, but McNally 158.76. He will have much more in the tank, you would imagine, for the final. Didn't have to employ his trademark blistering last 50 that we've seen him swim so much in the 200 backstroke over the years. Really strong finisher in many of his 200 backstroke races, a real trademark of Craig McNally. Safely into the final, I'm sure. Of course, again, we have to wait for this afternoon's result before it's confirmed, but looks like Zach Speakman is leading the way. Impressive swim from him, 157.14. Craig McNally in second position, the only two swimmers under. The only two heat winners under the 2-minute mark. Jack Munsey also will be trying to dip under that 2-minute mark as well. He progresses to that final. 5 heats of the women's 200 backstroke. Full 8 swimmers in this first heat. Louise Connell, City of Glasgow, in 1, next to her teammate Freya Beaton. Ailey Armstrong, East Lothian, in 3. Lucy Stoves in 4 from Dundee City Aquatic. Athena Pearce from West Lothian in 5. Maria Howe from Aberdeen Performance in 6. Lucy De Grossa from Best in 7. And Grace Courtney, late addition to the programme this morning. She goes to East Lothian in lane number 8. So Grace Courtney, the 15-year-old from East Lothian, right down at the bottom of your picture there. Ailey Armstrong going well at East Lothian. Teammate there up in lane number 3, just being headed though by Lucy Stoves in lane number 4, and Maria Howe going well in lane number 6 as well for Aberdeen Performance. It's going to be close between those ones. It is. Maria Howe gets the touch, but only by 8/100ths of a second. Going through in 108.89. Ailey Armstrong going well, coming through strongly here against the early leaders. Looks like Lucy Stoves might have just taken up the running now. As they come through to that 150 mark. Ailey Armstrong's been there or thereabouts. Two 15-year-olds, Ailey Armstrong and Lucy Stoves, side by side here. I think just dropping back is Maria Howe.
Looks like it's between these two now.
It could be a straight fight between lanes 3 and 4 here. Ailey Armstrong and Lucy Stoves.
Final turn, she still has the edge.
Lucy Stoves probably looks the most comfortable, but really fighting strongly, and now really picking up the pace is Ailey Armstrong, and she may well just take this one. Ailey Armstrong, great finish. Almost like Craig McNally of old. And it is Ailey Armstrong in lane number 3 who takes that one for East Lothian. Lucy Stoves going second there, 2:21.92 for Ailey Armstrong and 2:22.68 for Lucy Stowes. What a good finish there from Ailey Armstrong to take that one, 2:21.92. Next heat will be on its way very shortly. There are the swimmers. Poppy McDonald in lane number 1 for Western Bartonshire. Martha Reeves from Dundee City Aquatic in 2. Jessica Heaps from Fauldhouse in lane number 3. Kerry Gillespie, Aberdeen Performance in 4. Holly Lumsden in 5 from Heart of Midlothian. Emma McGavin in 6 from Hamilton. Coco Croxford from City of Glasgow in 7. And Susie McNair from First in lane number 8.
2, Jessica Heaps, Fauldhouse in 3. In 4, Kerry Gillespie from Aberdeen Performance. In 5, we've got Holly Lumsden from Heart of Midlothian.
Much to choose there. Coco Croxford possibly ahead in the early stages. That blue cap of City of Glasgow, the youngest swimmer in the field.
Susie McNair.
Going in lane number 7. Alongside our two 14-year-olds, Emma McGavin and Susie McNair.
So it's Coco.
That's a pre-race favourite, Kerry Gillespie for Aberdeen Performance. That white cap and the red swimsuit. There's Coco Croxford with that blue cap who led them through the early stages, but I do think that now Kerry Gillespie is probably going to take up the running here. It's a pretty close heat, this one. Holly Lumsden can be just off the pace, but we're only at the halfway point. Kerry Gillespie leads it, 1:10.27 for her. Second position was Emma McGavin. Third place was Jessica Heaps. Kerry Gillespie looking like she has put herself in a decent position here to take this one. Coco Croxford still with that blue cap of City of Glasgow, still holding on, still got 50 to go after this one.
She's still like 1:47.46.
It's Kerry Gillespie. She's around about a second or so ahead of Emma McGavin, 2 lanes down from her with that white cap. But Croxford getting some good turns, and she's really looking like she means something in this final 50 here. Not sure she's going to catch Gillespie, but she is ahead of Emma McGavin now. That's Coco Croxford. Again, a good turn there. Certainly using the turns to a good advantage there, Coco Croxford. Not sure she is going to catch Kerry Gillespie as she comes into the red markers here. Not much in it at all, but Kerry Gillespie takes it, 2:24.50 ahead of 2:25.27. So Kerry Gillespie takes that one. Ahead of Coco Croxford, ahead of Emma McGavin. There's a 200 backstroke line up for heat number 3. Swimmers and the coaches just being reminded here in the venue to keep the mask on at all times. And they're in the stands as the third heat gets underway. They are closest to us. East Lothian swimmer Emma Finlay. Tasha Simpson at the top from Warrender Bast, one of 3 Warrender swimmers. Kiana Kurtzer is the second Warrender swimmer, the 13-year-old, going in lane 2, and Anna Green goes in lane 3, the third Warrender swimmer. Ellie Turner, University of Stirling, goes in 4. Ellis Shields off to a good start in lane number 5 from Edinburgh University. Jacqueline McMillan goes in lane number 6 for Incas. In 7 is Sienna Perry from Aberdeen Performance. And in 8 is Emma Finlay from East Lothian. Again, we're into the seeded heats now. So no surprise to see the likes of Ellie Turner and Ellie Shields feature very heavily in the first 100 of this one. But Hannah Green, she's ahead of the two favourites here. 16-year-old from Warren Baths. Anna Green leads them through at that halfway point. Still looking in good shape here as they're into the second half of this one. Ellis Shields, Edinburgh University. Maybe just ahead, is she, of Anna Green? Oh, not much in it. 4 100s. Anna Green still holding that very, very slender lead. Ellie Turner in third position. Again, with 3 seeded heats. Really want to finish in third place in this heat. Leave yourself very much in danger of not making that A final. So Ellie Turner's got to try and find something here. I'm not sure she's going to be able to. Ella Shields is going to take it, I think, ahead of Anna Green. Oh, it's very close indeed. She does take it. Anna Green in second, 2:12.53, and Ellie Turner 2:13.98. So the top 3 are Ella Shields, Anna Green, and Ellie Turner in that order. Well, I say that order. Scoreboard has gone blank again. But that was a good swim from Anna Green, the younger of the 3 leading swimmers in that one. Warren de Bath swimmer. Again, we'll have to wait for confirmation of that result. Ellie Turner, one of the favourites. There's confirmation of the result there. Ella Shields taking that one. Anna Green in second and Ellie Turner in third spot. So heat number 4. Catherine Body from Geary, Ella Stevenson from Bellshill Sharks, Drew McKenzie from City of Glasgow, Hannah Sacha from Edinburgh, Rachel Saunders from Warren de Bath, Kate Butler from Edinburgh University, Melissa Mainwaring from West Lothian, and Chloe Barron. Mid Lothian swimmer goes in lane number 8.
Kate Butler, Edinburgh University in 6, Melissa Mainwaring from West Lothian in 7, and Chloe Barron.
Oh, I've seen what that first seeded heat did. Very, very close contest between Anna Green, Ellie Turner, and Ella Shields.
6-2.
It's close between lanes 4 and 5 here. Joanna Sasha, Edinburgh University swimmer.
Rachel,
Greek swimmer.
finalist European Juniors.
Edinburgh University, of course, with a number of international swimmers, not just Scots in the Edinburgh University team. We also David Cumberledge, of course, the English swimmer for the Commonwealth Games. We saw the 2 Irish swimmers swimming in the breaststroke earlier, both representing Edinburgh Uni team. And we have the Greek swimmer here as well, Joanna Sacha, 22-year-old. 4th place at the box. event, so we're hoping to get on to the medals here in this 200 backstroke. She's followed home by Rachel Saunders. See home, we've still got 50 metres to go here. Joanna Sasha, Rachel Saunders, a lead. It's a very clear lead ahead of Kate Butler and Drew McKenzie. Pretty close, just 8/100ths of a second separating those two. But the Greek swimmer looks like she is going to take this one around about a body length ahead of Rachel Saunders. Rachel Saunders, 16-year-old from Warrender. Good shot, just the backstroke technique of the two leading swimmers there. Almost textbook for Joanna Sasha and Rachel Saunders there. 2:10.40 and 2:12.10 are the leading two, so that could be the fastest 2 times that we have seen. Drew McKenzie in third spot in 2:15.69. So Joanna Sasha takes it 2:10.40. Again, just about a body length ahead of Rachel Saunders there, but a good swim from the 16-year-old to claim that second position. Final heat of the women's 200 metres backstroke. Isabel Wood from Stirling Swim in lane 1, Lucy Lucas from Edinburgh University in 2, Olivia Butler in 3 from Edinburgh University, Jennifer King from University of Stirling in 4, Holly McGill from Heart of Midlothian in 5, Rowan Saunders from Heart of Midlothian in 6, Ailsa MacDonald from Edinburgh University in 7, and Heidi Wren from City of Glasgow down there in lane number 8. Heidi Wren with a good start, actually, maybe leading them through in these early stages. Let's see if she leads after 50. She does indeed. 30.79 for Heidi Wren. Jennifer King in lane number 4, probably the pre-race favourite for this one too. 8.73 the entry time, so well ahead of the rest of the field. Early days yet. King in 4th position there as they go down towards the halfway point. Heidi Wren, the youngster of this field, by, well, a clear 2 years. Just about being eclipsed now as they come into the halfway point. Yeah, Heidi Wren just down in 4th position as the big 3 in the centre come to the fore. Olivia Butler just leading ahead of Holly McGill, and Jennifer King down in 3rd position at the moment. Holly McGill from Heart of Midlothian, 16-year-old. She has gone to the front as they go down to the 150 mark. Yeah, it's a big lead actually at that stage. A second and a half ahead of Jennifer King, who's now moved through into 2nd position, ahead of Olivia Butler. Again, Summers pretty certain that they're going to make this final, I think. Top 3 certainly should be well inside the time that they need. And Holly McGill is coming into the final stages now. Could it be the fastest time we've seen? We saw 2:10 in the previous heat. That's 2:10.00. That'll be the fastest. Going into the final, Jennifer King in 2nd in 2:12.94. She might have more to give tonight in that final. Olivia Butler in 2:15.34 in 3rd spot. So I'm just waiting for confirmation of that result. Looked like a good swim though from Holly McGill. Let's hope that's confirmed in 1st position. 2:10.00. Can she dip under the 2:10 tonight? She gets to that final. It'd be nice to see. Still wait for that result. So that's the last heat of the 200 backstroke for women. Just waiting for confirmation of the result of that final heat. Just 2 more events in this morning's session for us. 2 more short events. 50 butterfly for men and for women. There's Holly McGill confirmed in the top position, 2:10.00. Jennifer King in second and Olivia Butler in third position. I think that will mean Holly McGill will be top going into that final. Joanna Sasha in second, there we saw it there. Looks like Drew McKenzie is the one that is going to miss out at this stage. Of course, might still have those heats this afternoon to come, which might just change things about, but as they stand, looks like it is going to be Holly McGill leading them into that final. So the first heat of the men's 50 metres butterfly. Conrad Slesser in lane 2 from Aberdeen Performance. Usain Cook from Edinburgh University in 3. Good start from the Irishman. Finley Club in 4. Aberdeen Dolphins. 2 from University of Stirling. Benji Gillingham and Marcus Scullion. And Jake Kirkham from first in lane number 7. So Usain Cook, better known as a breaststroker, but 25.11 for the Irish swimmer, ahead of Marcus Scullion, 26.14. That's a good time there from Usain Cook. And that's given himself a decent chance of getting another swim tonight. So 5 heats of this one. And there's swimmers for the next heat. Dean Fern, Lewis Hammond, Stefan Kravich, Jason English, Ryan Ferguson, Brendan Johnson, Lewis Burrell and Benjamin Chuyin. Oh, good start there in maybe 2 and 3. Lewis Hammond, Stefan Kravich. Maybe Stefan Kravich in 3. Lewis Burrell going well. Also Ryan Ferguson. Danger all over the place, but it could be Kravich. Yeah, 25.15 for Stefan Kravich again. He is in blistering form, Stefan Kravich. Is it going to be? We're just looking at that. I think it's going to be another new national age group record for him. For the 15-year-old. Stefan Kravich takes it. Almost a Scottish junior record. 25.03 is that junior record time held by Tom Robertson. Also been told that Dean Fern is a 13-year-old record breaker. 13-year-old age group in that previous heat. This heat though sees Luke Nevison, Mark Ford, Jamie Robertson, Thomas Carswell, Ben Carr, Stephen Clegg, Jonathan T and Alberto Spangun. Well, Stephen Clegg back in the water again, the Paralympic silver medalist in 100 metres butterfly. He might be challenging his own British record here. Stephen Clegg in lane number 6 it is. Goes to Thomas Carswell at the front of the field. Ben Carr in second. Jamie Robertson in third position. Stephen Clegg, that could well be inside his own British record time. And in fact, inside the world record time for Stephen Clegg. Well, Stephen Clegg what a swim he is having. He's improved that butterfly swim. The 50 butterfly swim, it's not often contested on the world stage for the S12 class, but, well, Stephen Clegg has absolutely ripped that one apart. He is, man, very much on form. Well done, Stephen Clegg. Of course, everything's subject to ratification, of course, all these records. But Stephen Clegg dipping under the 25-second mark. Takes it in 24.98. He'll be delighted with that one. Fourth heat. Sam Pease, Rory McKinnon, Mark Elric, Chris Muir, Brogan Hyde, Oscar Smiley, Miles Lapsley and Ian Rose. Right in the front there, Chris Muir maybe. With the red cap there. University of Stirling swimmer just with the edge here. As they come in 4 and 5, Brogan Hyde. Very close at the end. It is Chris Muir ahead of Brogan Hyde and ahead of Mark Elric. Again, 24.63 for Chris Muir, with Brogan Hyde in second and Mark Elric in third position. So the final heat sees Callum Reid, Luke Shaw, Sean C, Gregor Swinney, Tom Bailey, Tom Robertson, Peter Allen and Mark Innes. In fact, no one in 6, so no Tom Robertson.
Into the final heat, Callum Reid in 1, Luke Shaw in 2, Sean Sy in 3, Gregor Swinney in 4.
Oh, Gregor Swinney off to a good start here in lane number 4. Tom Bailey close behind there, Sean Sy as well in lane number 3, but it looks like it is going to be Gregor Swinney.
Close across the rest of them.
Really going strongly here, pulling away from the rest of the field. Good swim there, 24.07
25.12 for Sean Sy.
for Gregor Swinney.
We'll wait for confirmation.
Looks like it might have been Sean Sy in second position. I'm still waiting for confirmation of that result, but again, a good swim in that previous heat from Stephen Clegg. We're just looking at the times that were there for the world record time. 26.74 was the world record time held by Daniel Seaman of Germany back in 2014. Stephen Clegg absolutely blitzed that one. I'm looking forward to seeing him swimming on this year, trying to make the international competition. The World Championships of Para Swimmers are in June this year, and also a big para swimming presence in the Commonwealth Games as well in Birmingham. So a couple of big events on the horizon for the para swimmers. Stephen Clegg very much to the fore in terms of Scottish para swimming. A number of good big stars we've got in the para swimming British squad, and hopefully more will progress from Scotland into those squads. Women's 50 metres butterflies next. It's the final event of the morning. Still waiting for confirmation of that final 50 metres butterfly for men heat. And 6 heats of the women's 50 metres butterfly to come. First session of these 3 days of competition. There's the three women ready behind the blocks for this first of the 6 heats. Just waiting for that men's result to be confirmed, of course. And there we are, the three swimmers: Isla McDonald, Amy Shales, Helen Stoddart in 3, 4 and 5.
Final event of the morning, women's 54.
All swimmers entered just around about 30 seconds. So I wonder if anyone can dip under that 30-second mark. Good start though for Helen Stoddart. Going through in lane number 5, giving herself a good shout here to dip under 30 seconds. She's going to do it comfortably. 29.19. Well done, Helen Stoddart. 30.45 for Amy Shields and 30.93 for Isla McDonald. So first heat's confirmed. Second heat just about to get underway now. Holly Lumsden from Heart of Midlothian due to take the start in lane number 2. Conrada McGregor from Warren de Baths in 3. Alice Mackey from Heart of Midlothian in 4. Louise Edmonds, RWS in 5. Ariana Stokes from Tynemouth in 6. And Ailey Robertson from South Ayrshire in 7. So 29.19, the target's going to have to be a good swim for the swimmers to challenge that one. They're all on the 29, high 29, and Ailey Robertson just on the 30 seconds 0-0 mark. So everyone gets under the 30 seconds in this one. Ailey Robertson going well in lane 7. That's her in the blue cap, and she might well take this one from the outside. She can time her finish. She does. 28.72, big improvement there from Ailey Robertson. And that is the fastest that we have seen. Louise Edmonds in second, 29.23, and Alice Mackey in third, 29.37. So Ailey Robertson, the only swimmer entered above the 30-second mark, is now the only one under the 29-second. It's the next heat: Jory Horn, Heidi Wren, Marie Wood, Louise Stoddart, Karen Kelly, Katie Campbell, Stella McCarty and Amber Stevenson. 28.72. That's the target. Well, pretty much together there. Lane 4 and lane 7, Louise Stoddart and Stella McCarty. So Helen Stoddart win heat number 1. Is it going to be Louisa Stoddart winning number 2? It is. 28.77 for Louisa Stoddart, and that's 5/100 shy of the time by Ailey Robertson in that first heat, in the second heat, sorry. Stella McCarty 29.21, Marie Wood in 29.59, just 2 seconds ahead of Heidi Wren. Fourth heat, first of the seeded heats: Amy Watson, Faith Yuda, Marabella Thorpe, Yasmin Perry, Anya Slesser, Isla Yule, Lauren Patterson and Millie Milne. So out ahead there, probably Yasmin Perry and Anya Slesser right next to her, 4 and 5 together. Now 2 Aberdeen performance, but a good turn there from Yasmin Perry, taking her clear. think she is going to take this one. Very good, powerful swim there for Yasmin Perry. 27.22 for her. That'll be comfortably fastest we've seen so far. Anya Slesher in 28.46, with Marabella Thorpe in third place in 28.80. Lauren Patterson, the only other swimmer under the 29-second mark. Heat number 5 sees Natalie Jones, Katie Shanahan, Nicole Ricci, Lucy Grieve, Kiana McInnes, Victoria Russell, Abigail Stemp and Scarlett Ferris.
Into heat 5.
27.22 from that previous heat from Yasmin Perry. What's the target for this group of swimmers in heat number 5? Lucy Grieve going in lane number 4. Kiana McInnes out of the turn well. Also going well, Scarlett Ferris down there in the outside lane. Kiana McInnes and Lucy Grieve absolutely together. It's Kiana McInnes. Oh no, just hit the finish there by Lucy Grieve by 1/100th. Good finish from Lucy Grieve. I thought Kiana McInnes had it there, but 1/100 separating the two of them, with Lucy Grieve taking that one. And that should qualify them for the final. 4 swimmers under the 28-second mark though. So that could be interesting. So, final heat to come. We see Elise Cousins, Emily Cumming, Kiara Slauson, Tame Bruce, Lucy Hope, Elena Morgan, Emma Hutchinson and Anne Hutchison. Tame Bruce's entry time 26.43. Just 3/100 shy of the Scottish record held by Sian Harkin, set back in 2013. I wonder if Tame Bruce can have a crack at this one. Well, Tame Bruce saw a swimmer cracking 100 freestyle. I wonder what she's going to do in this 50 butterfly. Tame Bruce, great turn here. Keep an eye on the clock for Tame Bruce. Lucy Hope as well next to her, but Tame Bruce looks like she's got the edge over Lucy Hope. 26.74. Well, good swim again from Tame Bruce. Just outside her entry time, but she will be the fastest there into the final. Kiara Schlosson 27.54 and Lucy Hope 27.74. Number of swimmers under the 27 mark. And I think Katie Shanahan might just sneak in there to that final. Elena Morgan missing out on 27.98, so that was the target for those swimmers. And as the positions of the swimmers scroll through, that looks like we are at the end of the first of the sessions today at the Scottish Winter Short Course Meet. So it's been a good morning, some good action, a couple of record-breaking swims. Well done to Stephen Clegg for that world record mark in the 50 metres butterfly in the para event S12 class. Our next session starts at 1:30 local time here in Edinburgh, so join us just before that. Coverage starts at 1:25 this afternoon, so don't miss it. Be there, I will be. We'll see you back in a few hours. Coverage 1:25 back in Edinburgh. Bye for now.